What's up, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to this POV review by Autobahn. My name is Max, and today we are checking out this Alpine A110S by Waldo Performance. Waldo Performance is a German company based on a Renault and Dacia dealership, and they have their own performance parts company, which is Waldo Performance. They make carbon parts and they install suspension kits, seats, exhaust, stuff like that. So today we've got their A110S with a couple carbon goodies, and it is an Orange Sanguine Special Edition number 9 of 110. And I have to say, I really like the color. The spec is amazing. Cool wheels, orange brake calipers, and then we've got this carbon fiber splitter here by Waldo Performance, which definitely gives the car a very good look. It has a big wing and a splitter. You can only get them together. They actually work. And if you take just the rear wing, your front end will be a bit too light at high speed. So you need the splitter with it, which I really like. I like that it's actually functional. We have made a review on the A110S in the past. So if you want the general info on that car, go check that out. But I'll do a quick recap. You've got 100% stiffer anti-roll bars, 50% stiffer springs, and then 4 millimeters lower ride height, and a little power upgrade from 252 to 292 because it has a bigger turbo. And well, it's just basically the high performance lightweight version of the A110, and it is amazing stock. It's a very good car, and that is a nice piece of design. Actually, I just noticed that they kind of made this like dent in there to make the splitter a bit more pronounced, but also to make it more functional because it traps a lot of wind there. That is very cool. I like the splitter, I really do. And even though, you know, the rear wing is not really my thing, I do like the fact that it's functional, and especially from the front, when you sit like here, you can see like the bit of the wing that pokes out there, and you can see, you know, the splitter. It kind of looks like a really cool miniature race car. It looks super like aggressive and playful at the same time. Really like that. So A110S gets forged wheels. We've got these orange brake calipers behind that. Brakes are great. The car only weighs like 1135 kilos with the cage, and that means that you don't need super big brakes. That means that the car can be a little bit more comfortable suspension wise because you're not straining the springs and dampers as much as with a heavy car. So there are so many benefits to this approach. And the A110S comes with Michelin Pilot Sport 4 tires as standard, but you can also get Cup 2s on there. And this car has a KW Club Sport suspension installed by Waldo Performance as well. And I have to say, it is a really good combination. You can see the ride height. It's actually really perfect. So snug. That is... wow, that is insanely snug actually. Can't get my fingers between that. And we've got a little side skirt here by Waldo Performance as well. Very cool carbon kit. Big ass wing, as I said. Well, it is functional, so I guess that is a good thing. And they also mount it on a carbon plate, which is very nice. So this is aluminium, and if you would mount this wing without this carbon plate, some flexing and cracking would be happening to this little deck lid, because that is a lot of downforce you're putting on that wing. So that is super nice as well. And then of course we've got the engine right there, the 1.8 liter 4-cylinder turbo with a carbon engine cover by Waldo Performance and an intake in carbon as well right there. It kind of surprised me how much I like this thing. I think the carbon and the orange is a very good combo. It's got the factory carbon roof as well. And then inside we've got a Wigger Sport cage that is painted in the same orange, and Waldo Performance has the exclusive rights to this cage. So it is a Renault Alpine A110 cage by Wiggers, but you can only get them at Waldo Performance. And we have the bucket seats here for the A110S with a 4-point harness for the track and regular seat belts as well. which is great. So let's get in. And well, enjoy the cabin because it is such a good seating position. The seats are really good. They are supportive. You can sit nice and low. They are manually adjustable by using these bolts on the side here, but this is a very nice seating position. Interior is pretty basic. You do get like Alcantara and a bit of leather here, some carbon on the dash, and a nice body color painted panel with a little carbon flag for the A110S, and then a nice little steering wheel with shift pedals that are linked to a 7-speed Geartrack dual clutch transmission, which is amazing as well. So yeah, all in all, a really nice little race car. I really like it. It's a perfect like track car that you can still drive on a regular basis. It's super nice. It's a really good compromise. So start it up. We also have a downpipe from Waldo Performance, 200 cell, which means that it is quite a bit louder than stock. So this is normal mode, but if we go to sport mode or even track mode, you get some pops as well. Sounds really good. So we've got a co-driver today who is going to help me navigate these tricky roads. Traction control can go all the way off. So this engine and this gearbox, it is a match made in heaven. Oh, thank you, sir. That's that is a loud bang. Has so much grip. Oh, and that bang is so much louder than stock. It is such a fabulous little sports car. The way it gives you feedback and just does whatever you tell it to do with a lot of ease is, well, it's hard to find a car like this. It really is. You can compare it to like a Porsche Cayman, but they are much more expensive, especially if you go for like a GT4. Other than that, I'm kind of struggling to find a competitor. Maybe a Lotus, but oh, that shift is so quick, and you get a nice little kick in your back. So this KW Club Sport suspension is a really good addition, because stock, as I said, the suspension is quite soft because it's so light, you know, you can get away with that. But this suspension does not sacrifice too much of the suppleness, but it does add a lot of sharpness to the chassis and directness. You just turn it in and it goes. It's really impressive.
You go through the tunnel?
So we've got double wishbones all around. You've got that low weight. The steering is nice and direct. The gearbox is nice and snappy. I mean, it sounds good for a 1.8 liter 4-cylinder. It definitely sounds the business. Oh, it's so grippy. It's so grippy. You really need to throw the weight around to properly slide it, which is a good thing, because that is very like confidence inspiring. It feels like you really have to push to get close to the limit of the car. Now I do have to say, while I turn on the speedo cam, I can show you guys the different designs. This is track mode, as usual the ugliest one. If you go for sport you get this one, but the best one is just normal. Look at that! A nice classic looking design. It's simple, that's the best one, but you know, we have to go for track mode. So on the Autobahn, top speed I think is like 260 kilometers an hour. There we go. So it is quite loud in here now with that downpipe. That is a big difference. As you can see on the display there, we're doing like 285, 87 horsepower, 320 newton meters of torque. It does start to struggle a bit at high speed. Could also be that massive rear wing that is working at the rear. But that is nice. I can't remember the KW Club Sport being this like supple. It's a very good setup. It works really well on this car. So we've got the van brigade in front of us here. There we go. Even though the car has been set up for track driving, on the Autobahn it actually feels pretty okay. It's not too nervous. It is such a good little car. I feel like this car is grossly underrated. Everyone who drives it says it's amazing, but still you don't really hear or see too much about it. You don't see them that often. And they even have that A110R now, which is even crazier. And price-wise, I mean, you know, if you compare them to a Cayman GT4, as I said, it is way cheaper than that. And I do feel like it is one of the most fun cars you can buy today. It really is. It feels like sort of an aerial atom with a roof and a body around it, or something like that. It's very involving to drive. It's fun, you can play around with it. It's easy. And I have to say that both exterior and driving wise, Waldo Performance have really like turned it up a notch, which I quite like, because the exterior, it definitely looks like a little race car, and the hardware changes they made, like the KW and the downpipe, they really add something to the driving experience. So, good job. So grippy. It really is amazing. It's quite wet now, and still it grips so well. Nice little blow off there. Oh, what a car.
I love it.
That's so amazing.
They should have ditched this Playmobil thing and make the pedal
longer. Yeah, definitely. But they need to put in this thing, which has been there since like the first generation Renault Espace.
Yeah, I think they bought like a few million.
Yeah, it's so ugly.
Build quality.
It's so ugly and it's useless. Why does it need to be there? Just ditch it. But other than that, I mean, what an amazing little car. Really enjoyed driving it, and well, if you have a Renault or an Alpine and you want it tickled, or you know, set up like this one, go check out Waldo Performance. Thanks to the guys at Waldo Performance for taking their car to us. Really appreciate it, and good job on this A110S. To you guys, thanks for watching, hope you enjoyed it. You can subscribe by clicking the big button in the middle. You can also check out this video on the right or this playlist on the left. See you at the next one, bye.